Welcome to the People Project, episode 4, guest for one of my closest friends.
Better.
Since high school. We had a class in Algebra 2. I was a freshman and you were a sophomore, I think? Right?
Was it? I think it was, maybe I was a junior.
No, I took Algebra 2.
Whatever.
No, you're right. Maybe I was a sophomore. Jocelyn Fierro. I'm not sure if I just said that.
Oh, wait, no, yeah, just say Joss.
Joss, okay. Well, Jocelyn. So Jocelyn had a crazy life. You're now back in LA. You were in San Fran. Not crazy, just...
I guess I just did the college thing a little later on in life.
Gotcha.
Yes. That's how it feels.
What do you think later is? Like mid-20s, early 20s?
Yeah, mid-20s for sure.
Mid-20s. And what did you go to college for?
I went to college for criminal justice, and then I got a minor somehow in communications. So kind of different sides of the spectrum, but I got it done.
Yeah. Why criminal justice?
You know what? My original plan was to graduate with my bachelor's degree and then go to law school. I wanted to be a lawyer before. But then I started learning about how much debt one gets into when they graduate from law school. And I guess I had a conversation with someone that wasn't so optimistic after law school, because then he said he couldn't find a job, and then now he has all this debt, and then he did find a job, and then when he did find a job, it wasn't as all perked up as he thought it would be. So
yeah,
that definitely discouraged me from becoming a lawyer or from even going to law school. So my plans changed a little bit. I mean, I still have a passion for law, but I don't want to pay for it.
All right. My first question we're done with my first question, but my next question is, I'm just going to ask you a very broad question. And this one is just, who are you, Jocelyn?
Well, I guess first and foremost, I'm American.
Sweet.
I was born here in the U.S., and I have Mexican descent because of my parents, so I'm Latina. And I have 2 siblings. Currently, I'm still residing with my parents, which they're honestly kind of the coolest roommates I've ever had. So
that's cool.
Yeah, they're super sweet, and then
super nice.
We share a restroom, and if they need to use a restroom and they see me in there, they walk right back out, and I'm like, "Oh, do you need the restroom?" And they go, No, it's okay, it's okay. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And my mom always has the meals ready for me when I get home, and she really tries to even do my laundry, but I'm like, no, Mom, I need to maintain that part that I learned while I was away with me, because I don't know how much longer I'll be living with them, so I want to appreciate.
Is it just you or Steph there, her sister?
No, she's moved out.
Oh,
she comes and sees us on the weekends and stuff, but she's fully moved out now that I moved in.
That's awesome. So that's cool. And you grew up in LA?
Yeah, I grew up with you. Duh.
Well, I know you did.
Did you grow up in LA?
Yes. Duh. So I know you already touched on it, but reiterate, what was your passion again?
Before?
Or what's your passion right now?
My passion now? Man, I guess my current passion would be, I think just looking out for my family now that I'm back, because I was gone for a little while, and I just felt like when I came back home, it was only for a couple of days, and then I didn't really get that, family time that I used to before I left.
Yeah.
And I missed a lot of holidays for a couple of years too, so that really hurt. So I guess right now my current passion is just to kind of gain back those moments and just fully appreciate being back home, because who knows where I'll be in the next 10 years, so.
Married for sure. She got engaged recently. Congrats.
Thank you.
How are you and Jermaine? How happy are you? Whoopsies.
That has to go in bloopers. It's this LA weather. It's so ambiguous.
We're back. So, yeah, how are you guys doing?
We're really good. Honestly, I'm super happy that we don't have to do long distance anymore, and he's super happy too that we don't have to do long distance anymore.
Yeah.
And we honestly feel like we just achieved such a big hurdle that a lot of relationships don't survive.
Yeah.
So we're happy. We're really happy.
Congrats.
Thank you.
For you and Jermaine. So, going back to your job, or what did you do with your degree?
Well, I graduated, and then after I graduated, I ventured off into, I don't know. I guess some other opportunities. I wouldn't say like necessarily having to do with my degree, but I guess I don't know. So I don't know if I've really used my degree, but honestly, I feel like life has been really good to me. So
Gotcha.
I mean, I feel like I have a pretty secure and stable lifestyle right now. So
May I ask what your profession is, or is that?
Well, I work for you. I work for all of you viewers out there.
Wait, how so?
Well, like I work for the government. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Do you like it?
Yeah, honestly, I do like it. I think like everyone else though, we have our days where, you know, it stresses us out.
Yeah.
But then there's other days where I just wake up and I feel really grateful, especially this year.
Gotcha. And the government job brought you back home, basically.
Yeah, I mean, but it's also like ultimately what you want, if you really work for it, you can get, which is what I really appreciate. And I guess I always, like the second that I left home, I always figured that I would want to come back home.
Mhm.
I've never left home, so then it was awesome, and it was a very like big learning experience. And then I felt like I wanted to come back, and here I am, I'm back now. But now that I'm back, I'm also learning a couple of other things too, so.
What other things are you learning?
That I'll be okay if I leave. Like, it's not the end of the world if I detach a little bit. It's okay. You know what I mean? It's okay to detach. You don't need to stay in the nest always, and you don't need to be near family always, that kind of thing. But, like, let's just say I didn't want to live in California much longer. It's okay to want that. Because growing up, I used to think California was the world. And that's not true. And actually, I learned that through you, actually. So, yeah.
Cool.
So part of that is actually thanks to you.
Sweet. I know you said that you don't know where you're going to be in 10 years, but where do you want to be?
I don't know, Moz. To be honest with you, I ask myself that all the time. Like, I'm like, where do I want to be? What do I want to do? Because, you know, my time's coming where it's ultimately like, what do I want for the long run? And obviously, I want a family. I want to have kids someday, and I want them to meet their grandparents and so forth. So I really want to know where I'll make my little nest and that kind of thing. And I've really been thinking that maybe California might not be the answer. Maybe it will. I'm not sure yet right now.
Do you have a second answer or choice?
I'm not really sure, just because, you know, I need to take into perspective a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's the thing. But that's where I've grown over the years. Is before I used to think, oh no, California, Southern California, that's the place to be, that's the place to go, that's where you want to grow up and whatnot. But it's not true necessarily for me anymore.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who venture out, but a lot more people who venture in.
Yeah. And once you venture out too, though, it's crazy because it's like, I don't know, it changes you. No matter what anybody says, I honestly feel like it does change you. Some for the better, some for the worse, but I honestly think it changed me. I mean, for the better is what I feel like.
Can you give me an example how it changed you?
Like I said, growing up, I just always thought California was the world. Like, whatever norms we have here, whatever cultures we have here, I honestly thought that was everything. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know that there was another side of the world. I didn't know that there's cultures, different norms just on the other side of the country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So my world was so small. And now that I've gotten to live somewhere else, live away from my parents and so forth, I really grew up.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
My last question for you. What knowledge do you want to give the world? What wisdom?
Ugh. So much, but I think the best one is like, don't be afraid to, like I said, venture. I feel like that's a theme to our interview now, is just don't be afraid to venture off. If the opportunity comes, I say take it. Take the opportunity to venture out. And that's why I like encourage you, Maz, if you ever want to go back and travel out in the world, I definitely would encourage you to do that. Venture out, travel around, get to meet different people, have interviews with different people, you know, get to see what's out there, because it's actually like a really big place. And it's so unfortunate, I feel like, for us that never get to leave and actually experience it. And I think that it's awesome to experience it rather than be told about what's going on out there.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Everyone should try to venture out if they can.
Yeah, I mean safely, of course. But, you know, hopefully with this new year coming up, these new things coming up, hopefully we can do it more safely.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Jocelyn. Guest number 4. Please, please, please go ahead and subscribe if you want. If not, if you don't, I understand. Just go venture out then, yeah?
Do it!
Thank you, Jocelyn.
Thanks, Moss.